The past is not what it seems. Secrets buried, truths forgotten. Welcome to Strange History, where the unknown becomes known.
Hey folks, welcome back. We live in a world where the line between truth and fiction gets blurrier by the day. What happens when the official narrative is a carefully constructed lie? The truth often hides in plain sight, wrapped in the label of conspiracy theories. Let's delve into 9 events once dismissed as fiction that proved to be disturbingly real. All right, let's talk MKUltra. This isn't some fringe theory, folks. This is the real deal. Back in the 50s and 60s, the CIA was knee-deep in this top-secret program, messing with people's minds, trying to figure out how to control them like puppets. I'm talking LSD, electroshock therapy, hypnosis, all sorts of crazy stuff. They were slipping acid to unsuspecting citizens, man. College students, veterans, even people in hospitals. Nobody was safe. They wanted to see if they could create assassins, erase memories, program people to do their bidding. It's some real Manchurian Candidate stuff. And the messed up part is they used our own tax dollars to do it. The CIA tried to destroy most of the MKUltra files back in the 70s, but some of it got out. Enough to know this program was way more extensive and way more messed up than anyone wants to admit. The MKUltra project should be a chilling reminder that the government isn't always looking out for us. We've all heard the saying, diamonds are forever. It's the cornerstone of the diamond industry, a marketing slogan that's been drilled into our heads for generations. But here's the kicker, it's all a lie. A big, fat, sparkly lie. The truth is, diamonds aren't rare. They're not even that special. They're just shiny rocks that we've been conditioned to believe are valuable. And who's responsible for this mass brainwashing? A company called De Beers. Back in the late 19th century, De Beers got its hands on the South African diamond mines and quickly realized they had a problem. They had a ton of diamonds, way more than they could ever sell at a high price. So what did they do? They created a monopoly, controlling the supply and manipulating the demand. They started hoarding diamonds, releasing just enough to keep the price artificially inflated. And then came the real stroke of genius. The A Diamond is Forever campaign. They linked diamonds to love, romance, and commitment, convincing generations that a tiny rock was the ultimate symbol of everlasting love. The engagement ring, a tradition we take for granted, is a product of a brilliant marketing scheme. So the next time you see a diamond commercial or walk by a jewelry store window, remember, you're being sold a lie. The Gulf of Tonkin incident. This one's a doozy, folks. It's a prime example of how easily governments can manipulate events to justify war. In 1964, the world watched as the United States escalated its involvement in Vietnam, all based on what we now know was a lie. The official story went like this. North Vietnamese torpedo boats attacked the USS Maddox in the Gulf of Tonkin. 2 attacks, in fact. The American people were outraged, demanding retaliation, and that's exactly what they got. Congress passed the Gulf of Tonkin Resolution, giving President Johnson a blank check to wage war in Vietnam. But here's the thing, those attacks never happened, at least not the way they were reported. Years later, declassified documents revealed the truth. The first attack was dubious at best, with conflicting reports and no clear evidence. The second attack, it never happened. The Gulf of Tonkin incident is a stark reminder that we can't blindly trust what our governments tell us. This chapter delves into one of the darkest chapters in American history, a story so horrific, so morally reprehensible, that it's hard to believe it actually happened. This is the Tuskegee syphilis study. For 40 years, from 1932 to 1972, the U.S. Public Health Service conducted a study on syphilis, but not just any study. They recruited 399 black men from Macon County, Alabama, men who were already suffering from syphilis. Here's the catch. They never told these men they had syphilis. They called it bad blood, a vague term used to describe a variety of ailments. These men were promised free medical care, meals, and burial insurance. They were told they were being treated, but in reality, they were being used as lab rats. Even when penicillin became widely available in the 1940s, a proven cure for syphilis, the researchers withheld it from these men. By the time the study ended, 128 men had died from syphilis or related complications. The impact on the community was devastating, eroding trust in medical professionals and leaving a legacy of pain and distrust. The Tuskegee syphilis study is a stain on America's soul, a reminder of the horrific consequences of unchecked power and systemic racism. Sometimes the truth is so shocking, so outrageous, that it sounds like something straight out of a Hollywood thriller. But this, my friends, is no movie. This is Operation Northwoods. Picture this. It's 1962, the Cold War is at its peak, and the United States is looking for a reason to invade Cuba. Fidel Castro, a thorn in their side, had to go. So what did they do? They came up with a plan so audacious, so downright diabolical, that it would make Machiavelli blush. Operation Northwoods, drafted by the Joint Chiefs of Staff, proposed a series of false flag operations on American soil. I'm talking about terrorist attacks, hijackings, even the sinking of a U.S. ship, all blamed on Cuba, all designed to drum up public support for war. They were willing to kill their own people, to sacrifice American lives, to achieve their geopolitical goals. Thankfully, President Kennedy, to his credit, shot down the plan. But the fact that it even reached his desk, that high-ranking officials in the U.S. government were willing to entertain such a horrific idea, should send chills down your spine. Operation Northwoods is a chilling reminder that power corrupts, and that even the most powerful nations are capable of unimaginable evil, even against their own people. Remember when people used to talk about the government watching our every move, listening to our phone calls, reading our emails? We called them conspiracy theorists, paranoid kooks. Well, guess what, folks? They were right. In 2013, Edward Snowden, a former NSA contractor, blew the lid off the biggest surveillance operation in human history. He revealed that the NSA, in cahoots with tech giants like Google and Facebook, had been collecting our data on a massive scale. Phone records, emails, text messages, browsing history, you name it, they were scooping it all up. They claimed it was about national security, about stopping terrorism. But the truth is, they were spying on everyone, collecting data on innocent citizens, building profiles on all of us. They built this vast surveillance apparatus in secret, bypassing our privacy rights, operating outside the law, and they did it all under the guise of keeping us safe. The Snowden revelations should be a wake-up call. We live in a world where our every move is tracked, recorded, analyzed. This isn't about security, folks. This is about control. All right, folks, let's talk about prohibition. You know, that time in American history when the government decided to ban alcohol? Sounds crazy, right? Well, it gets crazier. Because not only did they ban booze, they decided to poison it too. That's right, you heard me correctly. The US government, in all its wisdom, decided that the best way to deter people from drinking was to make industrial alcohol, which was readily available, deadly. They figured, people are going to drink anyway, so let's lace it with chemicals that'll make them sick. Or better yet, kill them. They added things like kerosene, gasoline, and even chloroform to industrial alcohol, knowing full well that people were using it to make bootleg liquor. They called it denaturing alcohol, making it unfit for human consumption. But in reality, they were weaponizing it. They turned alcohol into a poison, and as a result, thousands of Americans died. Estimates vary, but some historians believe that as many as 10,000 people died from drinking government-poisoned alcohol during Prohibition. It's a dark and twisted chapter in American history, a reminder that even with good intentions, the road to hell is paved with government regulations. Let's talk about the CIA, folks. We all know they've got their fair share of skeletons in the closet, but this one takes the cake. This is some real James Bond shit, except it's real life, and the stakes are much higher. In the 1970s, during the height of the Cold War, the CIA developed a top-secret weapon, a gun that could kill you without leaving a trace. It's called the heart attack gun, and it's as insidious as it sounds. This wasn't your typical firearm. It fired a dart, a tiny ice bullet filled with a lethal toxin that would melt away, leaving no bullet, no gunpowder residue, nothing. The gun was revealed during the Church Committee hearings in 1975, a congressional investigation into the CIA's shady activities. But the thing is, we don't know if they ever stopped using it. The heart attack gun is a symbol of the CIA's willingness to operate in the shadows, to eliminate threats with impunity, to play judge, jury, and executioner. Deep in the redwood forests of Northern California, there's a place shrouded in secrecy, a place where the world's elite gather for 2 weeks every summer. It's called the Bohemian Grove, and what happens there has been the subject of speculation and conspiracy theories for decades. Now, this isn't just some summer camp for the rich and famous. We're talking about presidents, CEOs, world leaders, the titans of industry, all gathering in secret, away from the prying eyes of the public and the media. They claim it's just a social club, a chance to unwind, to network, to enjoy some male bonding. But the secrecy surrounding the Grove has fueled all sorts of rumors. Some say they engage in pagan rituals, sacrificing animals to a giant owl statue. Others claim they use the Grove to discuss global policy, to make backroom deals that affect us all. No one knows for sure what goes on behind those closed doors, and that's exactly how they like it. The Bohemian Grove is a symbol of the hidden power structures that govern our world, the elite clubs and secret societies that operate beyond the reach of democracy. Well, folks, there you have it. 9 examples of conspiracy theories that turned out to be true. 9 times the government, the media, the powers that be tried to keep the truth from us. And these are just the tip of the iceberg. The MKUltra project, the Gulf of Tonkin incident, mass surveillance, the Tuskegee syphilis study. These aren't just stories, they're warnings. They're reminders that we can't always trust those in power, that we need to be skeptical, to question the narratives we're being fed. They want us to be passive, to blindly accept their version of events. But we can't let them win. We need to keep digging, keep asking questions, keep shining a light on the truth, no matter how uncomfortable it might be. History proves that truth is often stranger and darker than fiction. We've seen it time and time again. Governments lie, corporations deceive, and the powerful manipulate events to serve their own agendas. These examples aren't just stories, they're warnings. They remind us that we can't afford to be complacent, to blindly trust those in authority. We need to stay vigilant, to question everything, to demand transparency and accountability from our leaders. Question narratives. Demand accountability. Because the truth, no matter how unsettling, is the only path to real freedom.
The past is a shadow we'll never outrun. Thanks for venturing into the unknown with us on this journey through strange history. But this is only the beginning. Stay tuned as we uncover more secrets, unravel hidden truths, and walk deeper into the mysteries that shaped our world. Like, follow, and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell so you never miss what's waiting in the dark. Until next time, stay curious and stay vigilant.